what is to stop banks from creating their own cryptocurrency? And what is so wonderful about Bitcoin in comparison to other cryptocurrencies?
Now, that's a great question. There's nothing to stop them. In fact, they're already doing it.
JP Morgan rolling out the first cryptocurrency backed by a U.S. bank.
Facebook going full crypto, unveiling its new digital currency, Libra, today. And China's central bank is now introducing its own digital currency,
the Petro, a digital currency tied to Venezuela's massive oil and mineral reserves.
So central bank digital currency is coming alive.
Here's the problem. The problem is we are going to a digital currency society where cash will be gradually eradicated, either through non-use or a lot of countries and a lot of governments are trying to actively ban it. So they're putting limits on how much you can use cash. Say, $1,000, and if it's more than $1,000, using cash is illegal. When we go to this society, we have to really think about the implications. Do we want a society in which our digital money is under complete surveillance and complete control, where if you go to the wrong protest, or if you support the wrong political campaign, or if you make a payment to the wrong person or receive money from the wrong person, suddenly your money disappears. It's no longer yours anymore. It's frozen, it's seized, it's gone. And someone has control of that. Corporations, banks, governments, and in most cases, there is no difference between corporation, bank, and government, right? And so that's one scenario. And the other scenario is one in which individuals control their money. And it is digital money, but it's digital cash like Bitcoin, where you can pay an individual from one person to another, just like I can with cash today, without any other party getting involved. And so what Bitcoin has is that you don't need to ask permission to join. You don't need to ask permission to innovate. You don't need to ask permission to create a new application. And any application you write will instantaneously work anywhere in the world to anyone without permission. That's the magic of Bitcoin. And if you think about it, that's also the magic of the internet. That's why the internet has been successful, because it allows anyone to join without permission, connect to any application or service they want, write an application and launch it globally without asking the phone company if they're allowed to do that. There's no one to ask permission from.
And yet, when the internet started, a lot of companies thought that that's great, but the internet is going to be full of perverts and criminals and fraudsters and weirdos, and anyone can publish, and that's a terrible idea because most of it will be crazy ideas. So how about we take that and we make a closed system where we control who publishes and who connects, and we make a nice system that is suitable for all ages, kind of a Disney version of the internet. CompuServe, AOL, Prodigy, all of these systems that companies built, they failed. And the reason they failed is because they misunderstood what was the value of the internet. It wasn't the ability to send and receive data. It was the equalization of everyone as both producer and consumer, and the opportunity to have an open environment where everyone has the freedom to speak and be heard by anyone, anywhere, without controls, without censorship. That was the real value of the internet.
Should know.
What is internet anyway?
Internet is that massive computer network.
That's big. Wait, how does one? What do you write to it like mail?
No, a lot of people use it and communicate. I guess they can communicate with NBC writers and producers. Allison, can you explain what internet is?
And the real value of Bitcoin is a borderless, global, uncensorable, open system that allows anyone to innovate and access without asking for anyone's permission. And if you take that and you turn it into a closed, borderful, censored, controlled system, it is boring. It will generate profits for some, but it's not interesting in the broader sense. And once you create all of these little systems, you will have to connect them together. Bitcoin is the internet of money. If you build an intranet of money, eventually you'll want to connect it to the internet of money. And you'll connect it via Bitcoin.
I could care less about Bitcoin. I don't know why I said anything about it. The blockchain is a technology, which is a good technology. We actually use it. It will be used for a lot of different things. God bless the blockchain. Cryptocurrencies and digital currencies, I think are also fine. JP Morgan moves $6 trillion around the world every day. We don't do it in cash. It's done digitally. If it can be done digitally with the blockchain, so be it.
Honestly, I'm not that big fan of Bitcoins. But I pay special attention to the cashless society, blockchain technology. Behind the Bitcoin, the technology itself, really very powerful.
Bitcoin is open, borderless, neutral, censorship-resistant, international money that is not subject to banks and governments. And what the banks want is they take one component of that, which is the blockchain technology, and they say, great, can we take this and turn it into a system that is not open, not borderless, not global, not neutral, not censorship-resistant, and completely controlled by banks? No, you can't. A better way to explain the difference between Bitcoin and blockchain is this. The new automobile has come on the scene. Horse breeders, stable managers, and horse carriage builders are freaking out. So what do? They say, the technology behind the automobile is the pneumatic tire. We would love to adopt this technology. We will introduce pneumatic tires to all our horse carriages, and this will preserve our investment in horses. Guess what? Pneumatic tires are great. But what's really interesting about the automobile is the no horses part. It's the actual internal combustion engine. And if you say, yes, we like that, but could we put a horse in front, you've missed the point. Blockchain is that. Blockchain is saying pneumatic tires are the future, but this whole internal combustion engine is a fad that will either die away on its own, or we will lobby government to ban it. That's where we are with blockchain.
Central bank digital currencies, Libra, corporate currencies, are centralized, they're controlled, they're surveillance mechanisms. They have none of the characteristics of open public blockchain cryptocurrencies. The CBDCs are simply taking the name blockchain, if they even have anything to do with that technology, and trying to wrap the same pig in a new package, put lipstick on it and serve it up as something revolutionary, something disruptive, something new. It's nothing new. In fact, it's dangerous. Both corporate currencies like Libra and central bank digital currencies are extremely dangerous because the end point here is the eradication of cash as an open, peer-to-peer, transparent, anonymous mechanism for transacting that no one needs permission to use. And we're reaching the end of the era of cash. And our future is going to be digital currencies.
My job and Alibaba Alipay's job is trying to making sure that the world will move into a cashless society.
So I think that sending money would be a very useful utility to add for people around the world in addition to the messaging products that we have.
And the problem is that if you give centralized institutions control over something as important as money in a society, they can use that control to amass enormous power. They can use that control to crush any dissent or opposition, and they will start picking winners and losers, and they can turn off anybody, their entire financial lives, your ability to buy food by flipping a bit in a database. That is a very scary world. And of course, first they're going to come for the terrorists, and then they're going to come for, I don't know, pot sellers and gun sellers and porn magazine makers and God knows what else. And then they're going to come for anyone who speaks up about anything that's contrary to their politics. This is a very, very dangerous path. Totalitarian surveillance of money leads to totalitarian politics, and it's an unavoidable outcome. So we need to make a very smart choice here. And the choice is to use the open, decentralized, and neutral currencies of the people rather than the closed surveillance totalitarian currencies of either nation states reinventing themselves or corporations trying to become nation states.
summer.